Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss Sarah G, and I'm back with another video for you. Stay tuned, today's going to be a little different. I'm doing a Q&A. You asked, and I'm about to answer. Alright, so let's get started. I'm about to grab my book where I wrote down all of your questions and get to answering them. Alright, here it is, guys. Alright, so some of these questions are just very personal, and some of these questions are just fun, and some of these questions are a little more serious. So I chose a little bit of each, and I came up with a top 10 list. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, make sure to subscribe and like that button down there. Alright, so the first question is, okay, so it's kind of hard to pick one favorite movie, but if I narrow it down, and the first one that comes to my mind is Daddy's Little Girl. I really like, chick flicks. I like, romantic movies and just stories about, love. And so I love the movie Daddy's Little Girl by Tyler Perry. I like a lot of his movies. You guys should check that one out. Okay, so question number 2 is, what's your favorite music? Now this one obviously is difficult because I am a singer-songwriter. I love music, but I would definitely have to say that gospel/Christian music is definitely my fave because there's such a wholesome, good, uplifting message in it, and that's why I also chose to go that route with my music. So if you ever feel down, that's the kind of music to listen to. So yeah, definitely gospel music. Number 3 is, what is your favorite gospel album? Well, that's perfect because I just said my favorite music is gospel, so I must have plenty, but it's hard to narrow it down. So I would have to say, if I were to narrow it down, maybe like a Papa Song album, because I really like gospel, reggae, and dancehall. People think that Christian/gospel music is only like one type of genre, but there's so many different styles within that genre where you get like pop, like what I do, you get like R&B, you get basically all types of styles. So I love that, and I would have to say Papa Song because I really do like reggae and dancehall music. Okay, so question number 4. What are some tough challenges you face as you get closer to Christ? Now we're getting a little more serious. So a lot of you know that, being a Christian doesn't change what you go through. You still face the same things, if not worse things, challenges and trials and tribulations. You just have to change how you deal with it now that you've become a Christian. And so, man, do I face lots of challenges. I could list a lot, just like the other questions so far, but I'd have to say one of the most prevalent ones, I guess growing up, because I am still young, I face a lot of losses, it seems like. We all know that hard work pays off. So, even to start a business, you have to put in a lot of money before you actually gain it. To get through college, you have to study hard and, sacrifice a lot to get through. So I know that it's not a loss in the end. It just feels like losses, on your way there. So I'd have to say it's definitely like, losing certain friendships or losing certain people around you, losing certain things or even opportunities because, you're too Christian, or because, especially the friend thing for me, or even certain family members not being able to be as close with them, is because, you're not into the same things. So while they want to go here, you would prefer to go here. You just don't stand for the same things or find the same things fun to do. It causes you to lose a lot of things. So I would say, because I'm still so young, and because, I have, this is the time where people, have fun and live it up and party and all this different stuff. I kind of don't have that sort of situation going on. And that was just the sacrifice I had to make for, living the way I want to live. So that's one of the toughest challenges, I believe, because like I said, it's not that you don't want to be close to these people or that, you're rude to them or they're rude to you. It's just that it just doesn't mesh because you're into two different things. And that's the same thing in the dating world, because while your morals are here, their morals are somewhere else, and two can't walk together unless they agree. I'm getting a phone call, so I'll have to cut right here and then go into the next question. All right, I'm back, guys. I had to take that call, but now my phone is on silent, so sorry anybody who's trying to get me, but I gotta finish this video. So question number 5 is, this is a good one. How would you explain to non-Christians and Christians not all the way in their faith how to handle singleness and sexual frustrations they might have? Okay, now these questions are getting very deep, and this is a very good question. And it's something I believe more Christians, churches, and just people should talk about, because it's very real, relevant conversations that need to be taken place so people don't have to learn from the world, but they can learn from, you know, a biblical perspective. And so my simplest explanation to that, of course I could say so much like I could to all of these questions, is that, you know, you could say to people, you know, you gotta pray about it and you gotta just, you know, seek God and get closer to God. And those things are very true. But you know, God also wants us to apply certain things. So a more practical response I would give is that, you know, prevention is key. Prevention is honestly something that will change your life. It is life-changing. You know, if you know that an area of your life is a weakness, if you know that if you go to her house at 9 o'clock or his house at 10 p.m. at night, you know that there's going to be issues, there's going to be something that arises that shouldn't be happening, like, just don't go. That's going to, like, literally save your life. You know, we think that sometimes we're so invincible, and we think that, oh, even as Christians, oh, I have such great self-control. But you're not supposed to put yourself into certain situations like that. There's always ways out. When it comes to, you know, people are sexually frustrated. It's a very real thing. But prevention will stop so much of it once you figure out the triggers of, you know, what's going to cause you to be that way more, what's going to cause you to be frustrated more. If it's a movie that's going to involve too much sexual things in it, don't watch that. You know, some of these movies are leaning towards porn, and it's something we shouldn't be watching anyways. And it's no wonder these frustrations arise more is because of the things we're putting into our spirit. So that is a big, big thing. One of the first things I would tell anyone is prevention. Like, do not allow things into your space that's going to trigger you to feel a certain way or to want to do a certain thing. Don't look at that picture. Unfollow certain people on Instagram. Unfollow certain accounts on Facebook, on YouTube, on everything. Whatever is going to help, like, do that, because yes, you might still get frustrated without those things, but those things are a huge cause and influence as to why we feel a certain way. So I would definitely say to prevent some of those frustrations and to deal with those frustrations is to be careful what you're putting into your spirit, and to, you know, figure out your triggers. If you know that certain things are going to cause you to feel a certain way, just don't do it, and you'll be saving yourself in the long run. So definitely, that's a great question. Now, as for singleness as a whole, we need to start enjoying our single season. You know, it's like when we're young, we're like 10 years old and we can't wait till we're 18. And then, you know, we rush ourselves and we want to become adults earlier than our time, or work way too young when we have to work the rest of our life. Like, enjoy each part of your life that you're at. Enjoy the journey. You're single right now, but when you finally find that person, you're going to be with them, God willing, for life, because that's the goal of relationships, is to marry and be with them until death do you part. And so, you know, don't rush things. That's how you get the best in life. I just said it about schooling too. You know, you take your time, you sacrifice not going out with friends to do your work, but then you get that career that you've always desired, or, you know, you get a reward at the end. So don't take singleness as a bad thing. Take it to actually make yourself better. Take it to prepare yourself for what you desire and what you want. Take it to make yourself something worthy of what you would want to date, because so much of the time we're looking, you know, at people and wanting so much from them, but are you ready to give the same that you desire from somebody? So just in your singleness, get closer to God, of course, you know, learn yourself more, you know, be more self-aware so that you can make yourself better, so that when finally you get into the relationship, you can give your best, and God willing, the person you get will do the same. And more than likely they will, because you attract what you are, basically. So yeah, that's my advice to you. All right, y'all, back to some more personal questions. So question number 6. What qualities would you like in a husband? Oh man, yet again, so many I could say. But to be real with you, one of the biggest things that I really am looking for in a husband is to love me like Christ loves the church. And I think it's something that all ladies should look for. You know, that's a huge kind of love. Like, that is a selfless kind of love. That is an unconditional kind of love. And we know that nobody will be perfect with it. But a man who's actually trying to attain that and trying to give that to a woman will see just how a relationship will blossom, because that is what God requires from the husband to give to the wife. So definitely that is my main quality. And of course, what comes with that is just a whole heap of good qualities too, because when somebody wants to love you that way, it means they're going to be honest. It means that they're going to be true. It means that they're going to be kind, loving, caring. It means that they're going to be, selfless, like I said. So you're going to get all the qualities within, one main thing. So that is the biggest thing I would genuinely say I would look for, and I hope that you put that on your list as well. All right, y'all, we're at question number 7, and 7 is my number, so I hope that this one is a good one. All right, here it goes. Do you think it's more important to know what you want in a mate, or to know what it takes to be what someone would want in a mate? All right, so that's a very good question. And as I said earlier, you attract who you are. So it's important to become what you want to attract. So I think both are so crucial. I think it's important to know what somebody else would want, and so that you could give that to them. But it's also important to know what you want from somebody, because we all, appreciate love a certain way. We all have different likes and dislikes. So you have to get to know specifically what that new individual that you're with likes. It might not be what other people like. So you do have to still have a little bit of both, I would say. All right, y'all, we're almost done, and we're back to a few little fun questions. So number 8. Have you ever visited the Bahamas? This is a quick, easy one. No, I have not, but I would love to. I want to travel the world, and I've had the opportunity, thank God for that, to be able to even see some of the world already. But Bahamas is definitely on my list, but not yet. All right, question number 9. A cup of coffee, a Starbucks, music, and relationship talks with some bowling in the mix. Definitely my kind of vibe. I love Starbucks, here and there. I won't have it too much. Music, of course. I'm a singer-songwriter, guys. And, I'm very much interested in relationships. I've studied it, for all of you who know that. And just, of course, I think everybody likes that, because we're relational beings. We like to feel like we belong, we're interested in love. We're interested in just, having those relational relationships. So definitely that. And bowling, I might not be the best, but I'll definitely have some smack talk, and I'll hopefully win that game. But it is fun, so definitely. Number 10, we are at the final question, and it's just a little more serious again. Here it goes. Was your life always Christ-centered, or did something happen that led you to deciding to turn your life to Christ? Now, this is a really great one. My testimony would be kind of long to share, but just to kind of, basically summarize and briefly answer that, as most people, I don't think that our life was always, centered around Christ. Even when you grew up in the church, because that is my background. I grew up in the church. You still have to find Christ for yourself. You go to church when you're young and you don't understand anything because, maybe your parents told you, or your grandparents, or somebody brought you there, or dropped you off at Sunday school. thankfully, I was in a family where, my family were Christians at that time. And, we went to church all the time, and it was nice to have that filled in my spirit. But I would say I definitely had a moment where, I got even closer to God, and I really decided to serve Him. And that was definitely, I think, right before high school. In 2006, I got baptized, so I would mark that as the time that really led me to Christ. I was always very interested in Christ, and I just decided to make that step. There's so much I can go into. I'll have to do maybe a whole video on that separately, but yeah, that was the time where, I was like, I'm really going to do this now, because I've always been the thinker. I've always been, thinking about life and thinking of things that are beyond just like in the moment, but futuristic wise. And I just thought, I don't understand how, we could be in this life and not, have hope for something after, or just think so short term, because life is just so short. I just couldn't see myself without living without Christ in my life. So that's when I decided to get baptized, and I'd mark that as the time when I really fully gave my life to Christ. So yes, more on that if you guys are interested. So we have come to the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. I know that questions, I didn't want to go on too long, but their questions can really stir up even more questions. So if you guys have more questions for me, make sure to leave a comment below. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. I love doing these. I really, really do. And if you guys have questions, it could be absolutely anything. I honestly will answer it, because I do like to, give my perspective on what I know based off of the knowledge I have off of, God's word, and just what I've studied, and just in general, street smart too. So, I really do get joy answering these questions. And if you guys have more for me, I'll definitely make time to make more videos like this. So just make sure to let me know though. I gotta know with the likes, the comments, all of that stuff. Make sure that you guys take the time to do that so that I know, and let me know as well if this was helpful, or if you want me to elaborate on any of these questions that were already asked in here. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon. As for now, God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Miss Sarah G out.